So we've ended up with a 2-inch gap between the tin on the lean-to and the barn, which we need to seal with some sort of flashing. We are unwilling to cut the barn tin to get the flashing behind it. So we figure that the best way is to have a piece of tin flat against the barn and bent to come out over the lean-to tin. So the problem becomes how to bend tin with the ridges in it. I think for the barn and the lean-to, we want to close up this gap as much as we can. Not depend on just caulking. We have these tabs back here, and this is just a piece of tin bent to that. And I'm going to take you through the process of turning this into that. All right. Now I've built this jig that has the 45, well, it's actually half of the angle of the slope of the lean-to. Here, cut off here, slots for putting the tin in, with bolts to tighten it down. Here we have a piece of tin inserted and lined up with the center of this tin. Then we've tightened this down. Get the ring. Then we stand this up against my modern workbench right here. Now what I want to do is to cut a groove here, cut off these big humps so I can bend this sucker.
Show that again.
Huh?
With your fingers. I don't know. Yeah.
Cut this off. Cut a groove in here.
Okay.
So I'm just using this jig as a guide to hold just what we cut into these. Okay, get a close-up of this right here. Alright, so we have this cut ready to bend this. We still have these ridges here that are pretty hard to get the bent in the same place. So, I have need to open it up. to get in there.
It's right there beside you.
No. I don't need this anymore. Need a little block of wood. Right, now have that open.
Don, you don't have your knee pads on.
Huh?
You don't have your knee pads on.
I don't need them. I'm gonna be down here. I need them when I'm up on that roof, that's for sure.
Oh, okay.
I want this kind of tight because I'm going to be hammering on this in a minute. Alright, now got it in these two pieces. Here's the way we bend it. Bent each of these small ridges, and even though I straightened it back out just to make it easy to get out, they're bent. I'll go back fairly easy. I'll take it out of the side that was used for grinding. See how this bends up now with those screws. This isn't tight. Did not tighten that? I guess not. That's why it's not tight. That out. back to the fancy workbench. Alright, now we have these little tabs that are sticking through from the ridge. We're going to cut this so we can make tabs to bend up to help keep the water out. It's kind of hard to get in there. Only have to hold this down so I can get all the way down. What I should have done this first is my jig could use a little more alignment, but I find a hammer fairly persuasive. I don't want to spend the time. This isn't tight for some reason. Right now is the time to cut these. Important to get it all the way down to right the top of this. Trying to cut it right on the corner of that flange, that ridge, so it makes separate flanges. Now this is going to protrude out further than we want to, so we're going to cut this off. Don't usually have that much trouble. Whoops.
It's all right.
I'll get that in a minute. Caught it. take the hammer, bend it so it's straight back. Here. Now that will still require caulking to make that waterproof, but it's just a very small crack. Try to finish that off. I take a block of wood that's cut to fit my screw. Just make it easy to slide on when we get up on the road. Did we do this one? This one always has a little extra snibby on it. There it is. All we gotta do is take it out of here. These little blocks on it. Be ready for the next step on the next one. Where are the little blocks? Just use a piece of scraps laying on the barn floor. So there we are. This is the top. Water runs down here. Feed. These little tabs help keep the water from going out. Of course, we're still subject to water coming in here. We'll just put a lot of caulk behind that, but it'll be squeezed up between these tins, so that caulk should last for quite a while. Debating as to whether I should caulk the bottom or not. I'm afraid here in Oklahoma there'll be enough wind to blow water in here, so I'm going to caulk it, even though that will trap some water. Maybe. If the top works, there shouldn't be much water. So there we are. It took about 20 minutes to make each piece, and I needed 13 of them, so it wasn't quick. But then all that was left is just putting them in place with lots of caulk, and hopefully it's going to work.